raining too hard and you should turn around. But just block out.
I'm Keisha L. Jones, and this is my Soulspiration. Well, I unknowingly began to have symptoms, and I really didn't know what they were. I was, experiencing bald spots, my hair coming out in chunks, and bruising on my scalp. And then it progressed to joint pain and stiffness and being really fatigued. I'm always sleepy and tired, no matter how much rest I got the night before. So I made an appointment with my doctor to have some labs done, and basically they told me that there was nothing wrong with me, and the way that they explained the bald spots that I had in my head was psoriasis, because at the time there was like some flaking around those spots, and so they just dismissed it as psoriasis. And I had gone to the emergency room for an unrelated issue, and at the time I had a rash on my arm, and the emergency room physician that was treating me asked me how long I had lupus. And I said, what is that? I've never even heard of it. And he explained to me what it was briefly and told me that he thought that I needed to follow up with my primary care physician and have them test me for lupus. So that began my process. I went for 6 years before I actually ended up getting a diagnosis, or an answer as I call it, to what was going on with me physically. And in 2000 I was diagnosed with lupus after fainting at work and being rushed to the hospital. So now here we are 5 years later, and I'm being told that the lupus has become aggressive and it's attacking my liver, and I'm diagnosed with liver disease. That was hard for me. Here I felt like it was unfair, because I had just gotten married. My husband is 6 years younger than me, and here we are planning this life together. I have 2 girls from a previous relationship, and my husband didn't have any children coming into the relationship, and we knew that we wanted to have children together, but we were faced with the very hard reality that I might not be able to have children. And I started feeling like I was less of a woman because I wasn't able to do something that I thought was just so simple. I had children when I was unmarried. Why couldn't I have a child when I was married? And so after many months of consultations and testing and procedures, we conceived, and we were thrilled. And the lupus was under control, as was the liver disease at that point. So we were feeling really great and optimistic about everything. My 3rd, almost 4th month into my pregnancy, I began having complications. So then we were faced with the harsh reality of, as the doctors told me, I was at a high risk for miscarrying. And it was because of the lupus. That was hard to stomach. So we had to make a very tough decision, and we decided to induce labor. And I'm thankful that we did, because he's here and he's healthy, and some minor challenges, but we work through it as we go. And everything seemed to be back on track for us. We had a beautiful baby boy, we had our beautiful girls, we were a happy, vibrant young married couple, and then I lost my job. I felt like everything that I desired in life, everything that I dreamed about having and doing, was being snatched away from me in a blink of an eye. I was hospitalized with lupus complications and was near death. Lupus has definitely had a major impact on my husband. I can't totally speak to how he feels as a man. I know that it's a heavy burden. He has essentially become my caretaker, and everything that he does, it has to revolve around me, and not in a selfish way, but if he needs to travel for business, he has to be very intentional about when he travels. There are days when I'm not able to fully function as his wife. That affects us intimately, You know, he's a man and he's a young man, and although he's very understanding and very patient, there are times when I feel like I know that he's missing. I know that he's missing having the joy or the benefit of having a healthy, normal wife. With this last episode and going through rounds of chemotherapy, I lost all of my hair, and I pushed him away because I felt like surely he can't be attracted to or look at me. I don't see the beauty in this at all, and how can I expect for him to see it? And so it was, you know, I think in my mind I have in some ways tried to prepare him for the time when I'm not here. Daily there was a piece of me that was dying, and I was smiling on the outside, but on the inside I was crying, just crying out, crying for help. And my prayer went from, please heal me from this, to, if this must be my reality, then I don't want to live. I don't want to be a burden on my family. I felt like my husband and my children deserved so much more, and how unfair is it that in my life being altered in such a way, theirs had to be altered too. And I just wanted to die. I wanted to die. I would rather die than go through another hospital visit, go through another series of lab works where every time they're drawing blood, my veins are collapsing and I'm bruising so bad that people in the store are seeing me and thinking, I'm sure she's being abused or she's a drug addict, because that's how bad it was. So for me, death is a reality, not just because of lupus in and of itself, but because of what lupus has done to my body. Attacking my heart, attacking my liver, being the root of a blood disorder where I could hemorrhage at any time for any reason. And so because I'm aware of that, I'm more intentional about the things that I do. But it has been a fear that has consumed me in the past, and I've just tried to find a balance with that. And for me, it's through prayer, it's through my faith and knowing what my faith is about. My father was murdered when I was a young girl, and I missed not having a father. And there were times where, as a grown woman, I felt like a little girl who just wanted her dad, and I felt like maybe if he were here, not that he could take lupus away for me, but just having the presence and the support of my father would have made my journey through this a lot different and a lot more bearable.
And you can't help